Is this closed?
Hey, sir. I don't mind filming. I really don't. I
That's good. Yeah, and I'm fine right here.
If you can stand right here by the tree, sir.
Is this closed?
I'm sorry, sir?
Is this closed? Is this a crime scene? If it's a crime scene, I understand, but it looks like this is open.
Like I said,
I'm not going to stand that far back. That's absurd.
Sure.
Unless this is a felony stop, I'm not standing that far back. You need to get some crime scene tape. Am I breaking a law?
I'm giving you a lawful order.
Am I breaking a law? If I'm breaking a law, I'll move. Am I breaking a law?
Sir, I'm asking you.
Am I breaking a law, Holland?
Sir, why are you being difficult?
Because you're trying to stop me from getting the story, and that's called prior restraint. I'm no threat to anybody, and I'm pretty sure this sidewalk's not closed. If it's closed, then there would be crime scene tape, and I would have just crossed a crime scene. But that right there says sidewalk closed, but I haven't gone past that point.
Okay, so you're right here.
You're
good right here. Right?
And I mean, and laterally too, you know. Thank you, Alan. What's your badge number? I saw you on that stop last night, but I didn't talk to you, you know. Yeah, I usually like to talk to officers before I meet you like this, you know. Names. It's not nice to call the people names, Holland. Have you ever heard that? It's not nice to call people names. Have you ever heard that? Did your mama teach you that, Holland? Yeah? Well, I'm one of the people.
Okay.
Right? And so it's not nice to call the people names, you know?
Did your mom give you a name?
Well, that would be hearsay. If my mom gave me crack cocaine, do I have to accept that?
I would hope not.
You would hope not, right? So just because she may or may not have given me a name doesn't mean I have to accept it, right, Holland?
No.
That's
Did she
right.
give you crack cocaine too?
No, she didn't.
Well, that's good.
No. But the point is that just because somebody offers us something doesn't mean we have to accept it.
Fair enough.
Right? The choice is ours, you know? And I'm not being a smartass when I say that. I'm completely genuine. You know, monks don't use names.
I've seen you 2 gangs in a row. So
and I've never been disrespectful, right? Right. No, you're not. But you did try and make me move all the way back to the tree. That's a long way, especially here in
I still
Austin.
want you to interfere with his investigation.
Well, in order to interfere, 3815. Okay, speech alone is never interfering, according to Section D.
Right.
And I would have to place an actual impediment in between you and your duties, right? Which, you know, if I was over there, like, blocking you guys from your car or
The
something.
gentleman over here, I'm just trying to give him the courtesy right now. Because right now he's trying to concentrate while he's, while he's speaking with the officer.
The gentleman?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that guy? Well, sometimes people are distracted by things going on around them. That's called ADD, attention deficit disorder. It's not my fault.
That is not your fault.
Right? I'm only responsible for my own actions, and provided that I don't commit any crimes, you know, I don't plan on ceding any ground. But, like, had you have told me to stop when I was at that tree, I would have obeyed. But then I would have wanted to know why.
Why?
Right? Because this doesn't look like a felony stop to me.
It's not felony stop.
Right? And it doesn't look like a crime scene. Right? Like a murder did not take place
I
here.
wouldn't call it a crime scene per se,
Right.
but I would call it a police investigation.
A police investigation, which is fine, but it doesn't warrant closure of a sidewalk for a police investigation.
Okay, I guess the concern...
Right. You see what I'm saying?
Maybe we started on the wrong foot. Maybe we started on the wrong foot.
Well, orders are never a good idea unless somebody's actually committing a crime.
Absolutely.
Right? If you have reasonable articulable suspicion to believe that they may have or may be about to or are committing a crime, right, then orders can be backed up.
Absolutely.
Right? But I called your bluff because this isn't my first rodeo.
Sounds like it.
Right? But I've been bullied out of my rights before, you know, and so if I was unknowing, I would have just caved to your order, right? And because it can be scary, you know, a guy with a gun, right, telling you to do something and being serious about it too, no less, right? And but when you learn that officers they don't have to tell the truth, right? That's the truth of it. You know, you're allowed to lie, right? And the Supreme Court said you were allowed to lie, but they did not say it was a good idea. They didn't recommend it, right? Because when you lie, you lose trust.
Well, depending on what you're lying for.
Well, any lie is a lie, right? And they all can be, you know, taken more seriously than others. They're not all the same on the grand scale of things, but anytime you lie, you risk losing trust.
That's accurate.
Yeah, and once you lose trust, it's very hard to get it back, right? And so there was a day in time when everybody would just have done exactly what you said. And they would have given you all the space in the world. They probably would have crossed the street to avoid you guys, right?
Yeah.
But those days are over. Yeah. Those days are over because the Supreme Court said you were allowed to lie, and you went and you did it. For a lot of years. For a lot of years, you went and lied, right? And they didn't tell you it was a good idea, right? It's not a good idea because it builds up, and then when it gets exposed, then all your trust is gone, right? And you may not have personally been responsible for it, but you're going to pay the price, right? Because of all the officers before you that lied, right? And you did lie. I mean, you did lie to me. Well, I wouldn't say you lied. I should take that back. You didn't actually lie. You didn't say I was committing a crime, right? I would say you tried to bully me out of my rights. But yeah, but see, you're seeing it from your perspective, right? You're not seeing the gun, the uniform, the all the other officers, you know?
You're not seeing it from
I met him last night, but I do have to get his name because you're done, right? Johnson, 7450.
Is that
you still have his ID?
When someone's in the middle of,
you still have his ID.
Someone's in the middle of investigation.
I thought you were done, or I wouldn't be speaking to you.
Investigation, and it also says you have to move a certain amount of distance. Because I didn't say you could. I didn't say you couldn't report.
See, he's trying to double down.
No, I'm just saying I didn't say you couldn't report. All they said was step over by the tree. Because the thing that I have to worry about is maybe you say something later on in the middle of my investigation, and then you interfere with the investigation. Then we have a problem because then I have to arrest for interference. So.
If I interfere.
But the thing is that when you're told to move a certain distance, you still have to move that certain distance.
No, I don't.
Actually, you do. Because we already had this whole issue about it. Because if not, it's a class.
Then what law was I breaking by not following your order?
To obey.
A lawful order.
Yes.
But what law was I breaking in order to receive a lawful order?
I just told you. The lawful order is you have to move a certain distance.
If you tell me to dance like a chicken, do I have to do that too?
No, because that's
why
not a
not?
lawful order.
It's not a lawful order,
But
right?
This is because I'm in the middle of investigation and you're too close to the
An investigation doesn't give you an unlimited bubble. It doesn't allow you to shut off the sidewalk.
No. It does give me a certain amount. It does give me the ability to shut off the sidewalk if people were going through towards my investigation.
Not true. People can walk through. There's a barricade between me and you.
This barricade is here not because of this.
But it was there between you and me. But nevertheless, it's there. And it's a contributing factor. Oh, I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. But it's not a lawful order because I wasn't putting an impediment in between you and your job. Speech alone can never be interfering, okay? The right of the press trumps anything you have to say. You're working on the 9th Amendment, buddy, and I'm here on the 1st. That's 8 amendments separating me and you. I'm way above you.
I'm fucking popping bitches, man!
You're popping bitches?
Yes, from the back!
Really?
That's why I hate that cigarette.
And I know more with my little pinky finger than you know with your whole body, Johnson. 7450. Who is your sergeant? Who is your sergeant? Hey, who is your sergeant? What's your name? I met you last night too. Anderson. Yeah, you were the one that tased that guy last night.
You're correct, right there.
I am correct. Yeah. He ran from you.
That's correct.
Yeah. That is liable to happen when you run from an officer. Well, it's not a crime to run, but if you tell him to stop, then like I told Holland, if you tell me to stop, I will stop. If you're detained, that's what I said. You told him to stop, that means he's detained. Otherwise, you wouldn't have told him to stop, right? Right. That's what I said, and I told you, right, Holland? I would stop if you told me to stop. And if I was at that tree and you said stop, I would have stopped right there. But I had made it to this point, right? And so that means that I have this spot. You know what I mean? And you can stop me from advancing, but you do have to have a law in order to make me move back.
You're right.
You know, I appreciate that. Yeah. You're one of the good ones, Holland.
I appreciate it.
You know, I
wish
didn't.
I knew your name, Mr. Man with no name.
Well, it's really irrelevant, and I'm so serious about this, right? Because what is a Holland?
What is a Holland? It's my last name.
But what is it?
The name that my family carried
Right.
As long as-
But you want to know somebody's name, okay? I know your last name, but what does it tell me about you?
Just my last name, my
Right.
identifier.
But it's not really you, right?
I think it is.
It is you. So what is a
It's what
Holland?
makes me. It's my family. I'm proud of my heritage. I'm proud of my family.
So your name symbolizes your heritage, your family?
I would say so.
But by me knowing that name, does it tell me about your heritage?
No, it doesn't.
I mean, if
To
I
me,
knew
it
your
means something.
heritage,
Maybe not to you, but it means something to me.
right? Well,
I
to know
understand.
you, I would need to know about your family and your heritage because that seems important to you,
Yeah.
right? But those are different questions than what's your name, right?
You're confusing me, but I think I'm on the same.
Well, like, I mean, if I wanted to know about you, see, I've already learned that your family and your heritage is important to you, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't learn that because I know your name. You told me, but I learned it. I could have asked different questions if I wanted to know that,
That's true.
right? But your name didn't tell me anything about you. All it allowed me to do is talk about you behind your back,
Right.
right? And that's the only reason we need a name. Of course I am, Holland. That's what the press does.
You're gonna say
And you're
bad things.
a public servant, right? And so we talk about our experiences.
I hope
You see?
it was a pleasant experience. Sir.
Well, it turned out good. You know, you did try and bully me out of my rights, and you conceded, and you even admitted that I did not have to move,
So I
even
see-
after
I see
that
what
officer.
you interfered, it's all
Right. And, you know,
I was trying to find
you
out
tried
how
to stop me before there was a crime, but you know, like if I said to you, you know, don't beat your dog, don't kick your wife,
Yeah.
right? I mean, you know that you don't need to do that, right? You know those
Yeah.
are illegal things. You know, you don't need to be warned not to do it, right?
Some people do because they do.
Well, they
Right.
do, but I mean, it leaves a bad taste in people's mouth when you're warning people, hey, don't do this, don't do that. I
Yeah.
mean, you don't go up to everybody else and do that, right? It was just
Well,
because I had a
mean,
camera
yeah.
that you did that.
But if you were going to walk into the street, I would expect you. You know, you seem pretty logical and pretty
Thank
very
you.
intelligent.
Thank you.
You're not going to walk it into traffic, right? Unless
No,
there are people
absolutely
who will,
not.
right?
I'm a firm believer in crosswalks never saved anybody's life. You need to look both ways.
Yeah.
You're not going to get hit if there's no cars coming.
That's true.
But just blindly walking out and thinking two lines on the ground are going to protect you,
Yeah.
that's a fool's errand.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Right? And people get hit in crosswalks all the time
yeah that's true.
because they're complacent.
Yep.
And they're not looking around. They think those cars have to stop. They don't.
That and other phones.
Yeah, but cars, I mean, those lines don't actually stop a car.
Now they don't.
Right? If they're not paying attention, you know, you see a car coming at 25 and you're like, oh, the light's green.
Yeah.
They're going to stop.
Now,
Not always, right? But if there's no cars and no crosswalk,
Yeah.
you're safe. If there's
yeah,
no
you should
cars,
be. You should be.
right?
Yeah, unless like a.
Well, if
unless
you
that
mess
crane
up,
falls over us.
if you mess up and you cause an accident and you're not in a crosswalk,
Uh-huh.
you're going to have some answering to do.
Oh yeah.
Right? Because you didn't go along with the guidelines, right? The suggestions, you know? And if you don't follow the guidelines and then something happens and there's a real victim, a real human victim, right? Then there's going to be hell to pay,
Oh yeah.
you know, or there should be, right? Because that's a
Yeah,
real
absolutely.
crime, you know?
Yeah, actions definitely have consequences. It goes
Yeah.
multiple ways.
Absolutely. You know? How long have you been on the department, Holland?
Going on 6 years.
6 years. Yeah. You like it?
Yeah, I like it. It's a lot of fun. Kind of night shift is kind of wearing on me though. It's hard to sleep during the daytime.
Hard to sleep during the daytime. Are you just doing a rotation here downtown?
No, I've been downtown now for over 4 years.
4 years. And this is where the action is. I mean, this is the first time any officer has asked me to stand back or anything downtown. I mean, there's so much going on downtown.
Can
They
I
like,
explain something to you?
Sure.
So he's with the DWI unit.
Uh-huh.
You know, DWI is very serious, obviously.
Sure.
I would say that you would probably agree that people shouldn't drive drunk, correct?
I definitely
Right?
agree.
So, you know, I feel like what my intention was, why I told you to stand back, was not to interfere with your, you know, if you want to film, I don't care. But this guy's nervous. You can see it in his legs. He's shaking. I don't want to have that added distraction to him. You know what I'm saying? So I was just trying to give him the courtesy. Does that make sense?
Well, I do, but he doesn't have a right to that courtesy.
He doesn't.
Right? We're
So,
playing games with,
well,
what's that?
So you can have what you can have it. So the reason
What is this?
So
I mean, I'm glad to take your information, but what is it?
If you read it, you see it. So
Yeah.
the thing is that right there it says a safe distance. Now, if you're here and we're here, that's not a safe distance. That's why I have to move to the tree. Also, since he didn't want you recording him, that's going to impede my investigation because he's not going to do anything through it.
That's what I was trying to explain.
Speech alone can never be interfering. 3815. The camera is speech, buddy. Speech. This is free speech. He has no right to privacy in public. He's in public. You can't be in private and in public at the same time. He has no freaking rights, man.
So you can understand why. But one of the things is
he has no rights. This makes it safe right here. What am I going to jump this thing and what am I going to jump this thing and attack you? It is the point. You don't have an unlimited bubble, man.
You have that now, so now you understand.
Who is your sergeant?
My sergeant's not here. Would you like to
But who is he? What is his name? Your sergeant. Your specific sergeant.
David Tyler.
David Tyler.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, what is this?
I just told you. You can go ahead and read it.
What code is this? It does not say a code. It's not a
Go
code.
ahead and read that.
It's not a law. It's just garbage if it's not a code. This is fucking garbage. Absolute garbage, Johnson. If you don't have a law, you don't have shit. Thank you, Holland. Thank you. This guy's a jackboot. An absolute jackboot. Obviously, that guy was let go. I'll read what this says on the camera here. Officers are reminded that a person commits an offense if the person with criminal negligence interrupts, disrupts, impedes, or otherwise interferes with a peace officer while the peace officer is performing a duty or exercising authority imposed or granted by law. If a person is photographing or recording police activity from a position that impedes or interferes with the safety of officers or their ability to perform their duties, an officer may direct the person to move to a position that will not interfere. However, an officer shall not order the person to stop photographing or recording. If a person is photographing or recording police activity from a position that impedes or threatens the safety of members of the public, the officer shall direct the person to move to a safe position. However, officer shall not order the person to stop photographing or recording. A person's recording of officer's activity from a safe distance and absent any attendant action that obstructs the activity or threatens the safety of the officers does not constitute interference. I'm going to read that again. Number 3, a person's recording of officer's activity from a safe distance and absent any attendant action that obstructs the activity. You're that action, attendant action that obstructs the activity or threatens the safety of the officers. There has to be an attendant action that obstructs the activity or threatens the safety of the officers. There has to be a threat. A person has the right to express criticism of the police activity being observed, as long as that expression does not jeopardize the safety of any officer, suspect, or bystander, and so long as that expression does not violate the law or incite others to violate the law. The expression does not constitute interference. Bam. Guy's an idiot and a jackboot. Yeah. Press on. Right?
What is it you say? You're like, press on. And you're like, yeah.
Press on. Assemble forth. Legion about. Sound off. Amble. Pursue happiness with your life and your liberty on your property. And for God's sakes, exercise your Fourth Amendment right as one of the people not to be in your person.
Whatever that means.
Press on. Yeah. Have a good day, Officer Fox. Press harder. Press now. Like, comment, subscribe. Spread the word. Right? Press on.
Master by the name of Bates, smoking more than all 50 states combined. Yeah, right, I gotta stay on the grind. I got no money, so my weed's on my mind. I hit the club, but you know I can't dance. 7 and 7 in my cutoff chance. Tie that shirt in my long ass hair. What part of how I look makes you think I